Fred. Thank you so much, buddy. Thank you. Right, guys. Hey, that was a lot of fun, but I gotta go. I'm on a mission.
Hey, what's happening, Game One? SirJames coming at you guys with another video. In today's video, I'm here to provide you with my review on the Arizona Sunshine for the PlayStation VR. The game is also available on the HTC Vive, but keep in mind that my review is specifically based off the PlayStation VR version, but I will make some slight comparisons with the PC copy. Now, pretty much kind of give you an idea of the storyline is that it doesn't really kind of tell you exactly what's happening, but to kind of give you the gist of it, since there isn't really much explanation in the game, is that you are a survivor of who knows how many that are left in this zombie-infested world, and of course you're currently located in the Arizona desert. As you journey your way through, you end up finding this radio, and as you turn on the radio, a bunch of static is going on, but you do hear a slight faint of a human voice. So because of that, you build up hope that there are still some people left, maybe a safe haven, or just survivors pinned down somewhere, and then from there is when you set off on your journey going from point A to point B to figure out where the signal is coming from and to see if there's any hope of any kind. And that's pretty much it, and that's where your story will take you from there. So let's go ahead and move on to the graphics. Now, going over the visualization of the game, the graphics in general are pretty much okay, because the game is more of a dubbed down version compared to the one on the HTC Vive. So for it being on the PlayStation VR, for one, it's cool to see that the game did make its way through, but you can tell where they kind of had to make some changes. But again, for the most part, the zombies look pretty much generic. They don't look as nice looking compared to the PC copy. And as for the set and level designs, it's pretty much okay, like an average game, nothing too spectacular. There wasn't really anything out there that really kind of stood out above the rest, like a backdrop or scenario of any kind. But again, just the visuals in general are pretty much okay for what it is. Now, to go ahead and talk about the gameplay is very simplistic, and it's also super easy to the point that you could actually beat the game by using the first gun that you ever get. Now, to go ahead and start this, let's go ahead and talk about the controls first. As far as the controls, you actually have three different options. You have your Move controller, DualShock 4, or the new PlayStation Sharpshooter. If you are using the Move controllers, as I'm doing in video, you're going to notice that you're going to be doing a teleportation phase due to the fact that the controllers don't have an analog stick of any kind, and that's the only way you can move. If you prefer the locomotive option, then from here you could either use the DualShock 4 controller, or you could use the new Sharpshooter. However, with the Sharpshooter, there's actually a few bugs and glitches that I was dealing with, and the gun was a bit jittery and making it hard to aim if you're trying to go for those solid headshots, so that definitely needs some patching for sure. But again, I used pretty much most of my experience using the Move controllers, which is my preferred method right there. Now, as far as the gameplay goes, the gameplay again is very simplistic to the point where you're going to go from point A to point B. Along your journey, you're going to be facing hordes of zombies. It's either going to be a small batch or a large batch, and the zombies are pretty much all identical with each other to the point where either they're going to be fast moving or slow moving. And that's pretty much it. There isn't really like a zombie that's going to be like a mini boss or anything like that. They're just all pretty much the same thing. Some might have body armor on them, others may not, and that's it. Now, of course, you're going to be at times there's going to be sections where it's going to be a little bit more open, so you have a little bit more freedom of exploration, where you can kind of search through vehicles and whatnot to kind of find some ammunitions. And of course, there's also a small variety of different guns, but like I said, you could beat the game by using the same gun. But if you have a preferred method, there's also some submachine guns or some 6-shooters that I stuck with once I found those, and of course pistols and whatnot, and of course even some grenades that you can use as well. And of course, in some of these small sections too, you may have to find like an access key of some kind or parts to proceed to the next area, and that's pretty much it from start to finish. Like I said, it's more of a repetitive phase from point A to point B, kill the zombies, find loot, rinse and repeat, and boom, you beat the game. That's it. Now, going over the sound portion for this title, I would say the soundtrack was actually very enjoyable to listen to, and of course, as for you, the character actually does talk. This is an option that you can turn off, but I recommend keeping the option on due to the fact that you are basically this survivor who's trying to journey to see if there's anyone else, and pretty much it feels like from start to finish that the guy starts to lose his mind a little bit, starts cussing out, showing a lot of stress, and even at times providing a little bit of humor with some of the snarky sarcasms, and of course the cheap dialogue here and there. But again, it was kind of nice to listen to this character. Kind of brings a little bit more life into the game. And of course, let's not forget the zombies. You are going to hear all sorts of different sounds that the zombies will make, indicating that there are some zombies around, or if you don't hear anything, that's kind of a clear indication that it's pretty much all clear until you get to the next zone. But again, the sound design wasn't too bad, character was fun to listen to, and the soundtrack was pleasant. Now, as for the lifespan and final score, it's pretty much broken down like this. The lifespan I would rate in the low area, because even playing the game on the hardest difficulty level proved to be such an easy challenge. Even though ammo and stuff was a little bit more scarce, I felt like it was still extremely easy. Now, you can play the entire campaign with a friend with the 2-player option, or if you want to step it up a notch and compete on the leaderboards, there's also a 4-player horde mode, or of course hordes of enemies will come at you and you're basically trying to fight to survive and to see who's going to be top of the leaderboards. And that's pretty much it as far as the lifespan goes. And of course, not only that, there's also some trophies that you can go, some collectibles that you could try to acquire to kind of extend the lifespan a little bit more. But for the asking price of the game going at about $40, I would recommend that if you are interested in the game, to at least wait for it to drop in price, maybe around the $20 price range, which I think will be a little bit more reasonable for this title. But in the end, I'm going to give Arizona Sunshine on the PlayStation VR a 7 out of 10. Overall, the load times are much better compared to the PC counterpart, and of course there are several bugs on its initial launch that will need to end up being patched before it's near perfect. But again, still I would recommend waiting for a price drop to around $20 and kind of go from there. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this review. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you guys next time.